The global currency reset is happening right now. Gold is exploding. Fiat is dying. The world is dumping the dollar and racing towards real hard assets. That's what we've been encouraging you to do. Swap the dummy digits for real dimes, real money, current coin of the realm. The Federal Reserve is finished. We are living through the collapse of the fake financial system that enslaved us for over a century. We're going to have a very, very big announcement to make. That's not a tease. It's a warning. Trump didn't just hint. He signaled. Behind closed doors with Canada's Prime Minister, the plan was set in motion. Timing, right before his Middle East trip, the fuse is lit. The dollar's done. Deutsche Bank finished. JP Morgan hoarding hard assets. The banks don't trust each other. Liquidity is the key. QFS activated. Humanity's financial freedom unleashed. It's real. Monday's transition wasn't symbolic. It was the moment the chains shattered. The quantum financial system is now active worldwide. We just don't know it yet. It's happening now, though. The corrupt beast, fiat beast system is dead. The switch flipped silently, but it changed everything. That's why we put out 2 programs here today. We're convinced that things are happening, so much so we decided to share you with our hard-earned effort. That things are, in fact, happening. Get the dimes. Get rid of the digits. Don't fall into the trap once again. I have 89 examples of defunct currency. Don't make your currency the 90th example. Please. Many people wind up taking their lives over things like this. The digits will go back to their intrinsic value. We've been talking about this. We've been talking about Voltaire, fiat currency. We've been talking about the U.S. debt clock, how they're creating currency out of nothing, how there's not enough fiat currency right now to back up all the claims against it, less than 3%. If you listen to Greg Manarino, he knows that there's less than 3% of the purchasing power left in dollar. So this is your last clarion wake-up call here. Get out of the digits and return back to what the Constitution says money is. Gold and silver in your own hands, not in the bank and not in somebody's vault. This is how it should be. This is a wonderful oratory. Listen to what this lady has to say. I think you'll enjoy it.
Now, this is 1,000% on point. I completely agree. Shout out to her.
I moved over here from Brazil, and I'm pretty much Americanized by now, in case you can't tell. It's been over 25 years. I'm now a proud American citizen, and I have worked hard to adopt this country as my own and become a valuable part of this community. Let me introduce you to this word, which means to adopt something as one's own and become a part of it, which is what's supposed to be your job as an immigrant. So that means that I can come over here and introduce you to some cool stuff like Guaraná and Farofa, but I'm not supposed to be coming over here and be an invasive species. That's not the reason I came. I came here to be one of you. If I thought Brazil was so much better, I would have stayed there. Someone explain to me why I am expected to respect and abide by everyone else's customs, literally everywhere else in the world, everywhere else I go except here. Oh, but some people are fighting political persecution. Okay, well, if your land and your country and your culture and all that's so much better than we are, then you stay there and you figure it out and you fix it. That sounds like a you problem. Basically put, if you're not coming over here to assimilate like me, then you need to stay right where you are. Period. Full stop.
I want to make a deal with Iran. I want to do something if it's possible. But for that to happen, it must stop sponsoring terror, halt its bloody proxy wars, and permanently and verifiably cease its pursuit of nuclear weapons. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. I don't imagine there's anybody at this table or anybody in this room that would say they can. I'm strongly urging all nations to join us in fully and totally enforcing the sanctions that I just placed on Iran, and we also placed secondary sanctions, which are in certain ways even more devastating. Iran, as you know, had no money when I left office. They were broke. They had no money for Hamas. They had no money for Hezbollah. There was no attack. There was no thought of attack. There would have been no attack if I were president. But bad.
Elon, my dear friend, we're honored to have President Trump. We're honored under the sponsorship and guidance of His Royal Highness to celebrate a U.S.-Saudi and a Saudi-U.S. relationship that is 92 years old, about how we move from an oil-based economy to an innovation-based economy powered by wonderful technologies that definitely you're one of the pioneers in this industry. We just showed to His Royal Highness some of your Optimus robots, and to President Trump. Let's talk about that. Tell me about them.
Yes, so we just showed several of our Tesla Optimus robots to His Highness and President Trump, and I think they were very impressed. In fact, one of our robots did the Trump dance, which I thought was pretty cool.
The YMCA, yeah?
Yeah, to YMCA. So yeah, our robots can dance, they can walk around, they can interact. I think we're headed to a radically different world. I think a good world, an interesting world. My prediction actually for humanoid robots is that ultimately there will be tens of billions. I think everyone will want to have their personal robot. You can think of it like as though you had your own personal C3PO or R2D2, but even better. Then who wouldn't want to have their own personal C3PO, R2D2? That would be pretty great. I also think it unlocks an immense amount of economic potential, because when you think about what is the output of an economy, it is productivity per capita times population per capita. Once you have humanoid robots, the actual economic output potential is tremendous. It's really unlimited. Potentially, we could have an economy 10 times the size of the current global economy, where no one wants for anything. Sometimes in AI they talk about universal basic income. I think it's actually going to be universal high income, where anyone can have any goods or services that they want. A science fiction book recommendation that I have, which I think is probably the best envisioning of an AI future, is the culture books by Ian Banks. Very highly recommended for a non-dystopian view of the future. Now, there obviously are some risks,
Donald Trump just walked out of Saudi Arabia with a $600 billion investment pledge. And buried beneath the defense and tech headlines is something way bigger. Crypto just went institutional on a global scale. A Trump-affiliated firm, World Liberty Financial, locked in a $2 billion deal with Abu Dhabi to funnel capital into Binance using their USD1 stablecoin. Trump's got his own stablecoin. That's not just a backroom handshake. That's a geopolitical green light for digital assets. While the media is talking about weapons and infrastructure, the real story is the merging of state-level capital and crypto infrastructure. And it's happening faster than anyone's ready for. This isn't just another political stunt. This is the global elite choosing sides. And it's not in the traditional banking system. Trump's moves signal that crypto isn't just speculative anymore. It's strategic. It's becoming a tool of power, influence, and survival in a collapsing fiat world. If you're still waiting on CNBC to tell you when to buy, you're already too late. Get educated.
They told us history repeats itself. No one said it would rhyme with cocaine. In 1936, Hitler watched the Olympics from the stands, trembling, twitching, his veins coursing with amphetamines and delusion, fueled by power and pills. Fast forward to today, the president of France is caught on camera with a baggie he hides like a teenager getting busted at a dorm party. No explanation, just a nervous smirk and a quick cover-up. In between, generations of leaders have passed laws that imprison the poor for carrying the very same baggies, while their own circles dance at parties where the rules don't apply. This isn't about a single leader. It's about a system where power is the ultimate narcotic, and truth, the most forbidden substance of all. From Nazi Germany's Purgative, to CIA-backed crack epidemics, to presidents who sniff more than just political opportunity. History's track record is clear. If you're wondering why the world feels insane, maybe it's because the people running it are. My friends, we are all anonymous. We do not forget. We are the light they fear.
Conspiracy theories abound as U.S. military close HARP. The U.S. Air Force has told Congress it intends to shut down HARP, a controversial Alaska-based research facility that studies the upper atmosphere.
You really are a genuine fan, and it's amazing. And we've known each other for years.
Yeah.
You've been to my house. We've had pizza. Girl after my own heart. Do we love a pizza or what? We love a pizza.
We do.
Her parties are incredible at her house, too.
Yeah. She does have good parties, and she makes good pizza as well.
She makes great pizza, yes.
Wonderful pizza.
No one can seem to agree on anything anymore except for two things.
Pizza and us.
And us.
People were eating the pizza going crazy. Oh, my God. I taste the cheeses, Jerry. I taste the cheeses. They brought me my pizza. I took a bite. I couldn't believe it. Best pizza I've ever had in my life. Best pizza I've ever had. Had some type of lettuce on it. I've never tasted it. Tell my wife, babe, it's got some type of lettuce on it.
Meanwhile, Walmart is building a small city in Arkansas. Matt, you know where this is happening. Watch.
Mad creepy. I'll explain in 1 second. So, Walmart is building a whole freaking city in Arkansas. Well, I have a friend that lives in Arkansas, so shout out to Heather, because she sent me this information, and she put all the stuff together, and she checked the location of this city that Walmart is building, right? She compared it to a map, a pretty known map, and she found out that this entire city was built in an area that would still be here after the Great Flood of 2025. If you look right here, more than half of Arkansas is completely wiped off the map. And you mean to tell me that Walmart, of all corporations, don't you know about the Walmart theory? Other word theory, that weird thing with Walmart. The Walmarts that are closing down all over the country with crazy barbed wire fences, you know that one? Is building a whole freaking city in the one location that would not be flooding in that state. If you live in a blue area, you better find yourself somewhere to go like all the billionaires did years ago. Don't forget what I just posted earlier. And by the way, it's talking about the guy who's in office now when the situation happening. It's not a long time ago. This was now.
What in the world is going on? A mile-wide underwater volcano is ready to blow its top off the west coast in the coming months, causing 10,000 earthquakes in one day.
Allegedly, but the Walmart city...
Donald Trump said in his speech in Saudi Arabia that the cabal had to make their move right now. Here are a few reasons. He's expected to announce a new trade deal. Petrodollar system faces collapse, forcing cabal's immediate action. BRICS currency push threatens cabal's global financial control. Saudi Arabia's trade pivot undermines cabal's dollar dominance. Iran nuclear deal talks expose cabal's weakening influence. Global reset looms, pressuring cabal to counter swiftly. Middle East realignment challenges cabal's regional power base. Trump tariff cuts disrupt the cabal's economic manipulation schemes. Energy market shift compelled cabal to secure oil deals. Ukraine ceasefire talks weaken cabal's war-driven agenda. Is Israel already positioned to strike Gaza? Will it start there? We will see real soon. It's game over. Warning, the weekend, gold shall destroy the Fed, economic security. XRP becomes number one. I don't know about that one. A fast-moving ball, collapse, hyperinflation. They repeat tactics. Slave to debt. Banks hold all currency. The gist of it, please be ready.
Trump is in the Middle East completely realigning our foreign policy with them all. He just cut a strategic deal with Saudi Arabia. This is economic, military, and government partnerships. The economic part, they are going to invest $1 trillion into the U.S. They are also going to slash oil prices. Now, oil prices are already down 25% since Trump took office, but it's the oil companies here, Exxon and Chevron, that don't want to drop gas prices, so he's going to have to kick them in the dick to make some action happen there because they don't want to see their profits cut. Now, the other deal is we will now be protecting Saudi Arabia in case they are attacked. Now, Saudi Arabia really doesn't have any enemies. They pretty much get along with everybody in the Middle East except Israel right there. Imagine that. Yeah. But Israel's super pissed about this because forever they were like, well, what are we getting out of the deal? And Trump told them, like, nothing, because this is a deal for the U.S. We're not any longer negotiating for Israel. And then Israel's pissed off about Syria as well. See, Syria up here, they were overthrown by our CIA just before Trump was elected. And what Israel wanted was to occupy and take over Syria. They want Syria, they want Jordan. And Russia up here had a partnership with Syria. So when Syria fell, Russia came down here and they started occupying Syria's military bases. Now, Russia is set to withdraw. And so Israel was telling us, hey, you need to make Russia give us these military bases in Syria. And Trump was like, no, we're not doing that. We're not pressuring the rest of the world for you anymore. So now Turkey is mobilizing its forces, and it is going to begin to occupy these parts in Syria. Now, why is Israel so pissed about that? Well, because of this. This is Israel's plan for Greater Israel. These are all the lands that Israel wants to take over. Lebanon, Jordan, big chunks of Syria, parts of Iraq, parts of Saudi Arabia, and even big parts of Egypt. This would include the Great Pyramids. Huh, weird. But you're not going to get this anymore. And this is easily found. Google search, find you this in 3 seconds. This is their plan. This is what they have been using the United States to destabilize the entire Middle East for the last 2 years. You see Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Afghanistan is actually on the other side of Iran. Learn your geography and it'll help you really understand what's going on over there. But this is what Israel has wanted for the entire time. They just can't be happy with what they got. As we've seen, they want to take over Gaza, the West Bank, all this other shit around them. There has never been Israel's plan to just live and cohabitate with all their neighbors. This is what they want. This is their idea for their future. And this is, you can't just do this. You can't just do this. We do not allow any country to just take over this much land. So, and this is the Zionist plan, you know. This is not all of Israel, and everybody needs to understand you need to separate Netanyahu's corrupt-ass government from the rest of Israel. It's no different than when Joe Biden was president of the United States. It didn't make every U.S. citizen a corrupt, criminal, lying sack of shit. No, it was just our government. Do not conflate Benjamin Netanyahu's actions with all Jews. Do not ever claim that it's all the Jews. It's Benjamin Netanyahu's corrupt, devil-ass, just evil son of a that is, and the Zionists that are pushing for all wars and the problems. You have to separate it. You have to understand it, and you have so you can speak about it. When you say it's all the Jews, the conversation is just gone. It's done. Don't do that. Understand, separate it. Benjamin Netanyahu's government. Benjamin Netanyahu has already been found a war criminal in the international court system, and as soon as he is out of power, that is going to jail, as well he should. The control of Israel needs to be given back to the people. They are not a democracy. He's dictator of that place for like 17 years. You're not president of any country for 17 years. No, you're a dictator. And that's as soon as this war with Gaza is over, again, Netanyahu out of there. So this is what they're after. This is what they're not. That's why they're pissed. And Netanyahu's already threatened, saying that Trump doesn't have this U.S. support and he's going to make the Senate turn against him. And that's where AIPAC comes in. AIPAC needs to be made to register as a foreign entity, and a lot of these problems will be ended because a big chunk of our Congress and Senate has been bought off by Israeli-funded super PACs. That's what the whole about, people. So educate yourselves, learn to talk about it all, understand the geography of what's going on here, and then things make a lot more sense, and the media can't gaslight the idea. So there you go. Good luck to you all.